going to scale all of that. It's because there's changing media consumption patterns. Having access on digital exposes you to an audience. The world basically becomes your audience. Without digital platforms, how will Netflix, from the example I gave, be able to produce content that is received massively in another country and they're able to monetize that content? So what happens is that traditional media platforms would have to adopt the new system. It's not going to fade out all of a sudden, but they're going to adopt the new digital systems. I'm sure some of you know radio stations, for example, with the same studio where they have their radio, their mics, they have podcasts, which is a digital platform. Some of them have cameras in their face, and you're able to see at the same time what they're broadcasting on Facebook. So you see, the world, it's a converged world right now. We encourage people to adopt new systems, new digital platforms, because the ecosystem is huge. There's a lot of dividends that come out of it. So think about it like this. Just like when Nollywood was introduced, now you have people who produce costumes, you have people who produce sets and all of that. With the digital, with the introduction of DSO, a lot of people are going to be introduced in new set skills. There's technology, you're going to learn to use software to do production and all of that. So there's a lot of technology that opens up, that people have to learn new skill sets and all of that. So there's a whole world available to us, and we're partnering to ensure that this is done right.
Okay, good afternoon. I think that's a very good question in terms of why. So I think that's a very good question as to what the NCC is bringing to the table. I think, like my brother Charles said, picking up from where it's about convergence. So today, convergence has changed the media landscape. Um, I'm sure if I take a poll around the room, all of us will probably relate to the fact that the media we consume today, majority of it, I for one can say probably 90% of it is not through traditional broadcast. The number of minutes I use to consume media, if I'm to look at how much of that is actually through a TV where I'm watching a broadcast program, is probably less than 10%. Now, this convergence has given us the options to consume media in so many ways, but primarily through the internet. And as a regulator for communications, I think it is very important that the NCC is part of this discussion. Because if we go and create all of this amazing content, and we don't take into account the fact that the mode of consumption has changed, and the fact that majority of this content is going to be consumed on demand, and is going to require some level of interaction in real time, which traditional broadcast does not allow for, or does not do it optimally, then I think we're not going to be doing justice to the DSO project. And this is one of the points that the DG of NBC said, that we're approaching it in a different way. So we're going to be working very closely together, obviously led by the NBC, but where we need to provide support and ensure that the communication sector is ready. Because believe me, if we do this right, especially if we get the right content, it is going to lead to a huge explosion in the consumption of data. So the kind of things that the NCC needs to do to provide support is to ensure that as much of, so we don't want, yes, it's over the internet, but we don't want that data to go out and come back in. So we have a role there to play in the NCC. We also have a role there to play in ensuring that the quality of connection, the quality of the signal that people are getting into these internet-connected devices is at the right level to support people enjoying this content. So to round it up, I think we have an important group, but not as important as the NBC. But we are here to support. Thank you.
You're home to GTV Africa from Abuja, NCC and NBC speaking on the digital switch over, and that is where the live is going now. And this is coming to you because of GTV Africa from Abuja.
So, more questions?
If you have questions, you can send your question in, but if there is none before the end of the briefing gets
So,
out.
once again, thank you all. We have lunch downstairs. And then for the children of the press, we quite long we will not see you. Thank you for coming. And I hope to see you. I'll see you in the next 10 minutes.
If I have opportunity, I will find out from those that are in the house to speak on what. You are on live to GTV Africa live from Abuja, and you are listening to what is going on as regards to NBC and others. If I have opportunity, do photographs now. If I have opportunity, I'm going to meet and find out from any of them the take home from here. Excuse me.
Hold on. Anything? No, is there anything? No, is there anything? No, not clear.
You are blocking me. Well, we've seen the acts of security men. Right? They do their job, they block you from getting details, information. Till I come your way again, I'm going to get lab. No,